This is Hardrocker Highlights, and this is Tom Rudebusch with Hardrocker head football coach Dan Kratzer. And may I introduce the Homestake Trophy to you, now in possession of the Hardrockers by virtue of their 23-20 double overtime win over Black Hill State. And Dan, that's certainly a very nice trophy to look at.
Well, it certainly is, Tom, and I tell you what, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into that. We earned that. The kids earned this trophy in that double overtime win, and a fitting ending for a great week.
You know, I guess there will never be a game that exemplifies the old philosophy, you play 60 minutes, and in this case, and then some. But 60 minutes was certainly used every second.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you know, if you wanted to write a movie script and have it turn out in the Hardrocker favor, you know, this was a great opportunity to do it. Everything was, you know, was what you expect in a college football championship kind of game, and kids played hard from the start. You know, we got up early, and if we could have just gotten one more score early, you know, there's a lot of ifs and ands in all kinds of games, and you really try, as a coaching staff, we really sit back and try not to overanalyze that kind of thing, because the end result could be one play in the first quarter, one play in the second quarter, 10 plays in the third quarter. You know, you never know what that turning point's going to be. But that's, as you said, you know, the most important thing is that when the game clock's running, you're giving it 100%.
Dan, give us some insight from a coach's perspective, what's going on the sidelines. Let's talk about the last 55 seconds. You took the ball at your own 28-yard line. You had no timeout left. How does a coach approach something like that?
A wing and a prayer. Really, Tom, every week and almost every day of every week we do a 1-minute offense. So we start and
not a 2-minute offense, a 1 minute.
A 1-minute offense, and we call it 2 minutes. It's a racehorse. You know, we can do it any time during a game, but we start with 1 minute, no timeouts left, and see if we can get in scoring position on a field goal. Or some days we'll say, okay, we need 6, and see what we can do. So we feel like the team, both our teams, offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball, as a team, we were prepared for that situation. And it just happened that the offense had the opportunity now to get the ball in field position. And, you know, we told Nick and the team that, hey, all we need to do is get to the 30, because, you know, Smitty's going to kick it. And so we got, I think, just inside the 30, maybe 29, 28-yard line, and then got the penalty on top of that. So that was super. But again, it's not like those kids haven't been in that situation before. Now, the pressure's not the same in practice, but the responsibility and the outcome, the expectations are the same. And so, you know, when you do that and you practice that and you practice that, sooner or later, it's going to pay dividends for you.
Let me ask you this, and this is just a hypothetical. At what point would you have said that Andy Smith would be our best chance? In other words, I guess what I'm asking is, how long do you think Andy Smith could kick a field goal if you just were forced to have to try a field goal?
Well, if he had to kick a 55-yarder, we'd line up and do it. And, you know, we feel like the strength of his leg, and he could do that. And so, you know, obviously it also, you have to take into consideration wind factors and that kind of thing outdoors. And the wind had shifted a little bit out there during the game, but he still felt very comfortable inside the 35. And so we just targeted the 30 and said, hey, get down to the 30 and we can tie this game, put it in overtime.
Well, I know your confidence in Andy is unwavering. Even early he missed a kick or two, but over the years he has been a clutch kicker.
Well, he has, and he kind of thrives for those situations, you know. Previous to the game, he had stopped and talked with my wife one day after practice, and said, Mrs. Kratzer, he said, if I have to kick 10 field goals to beat Black Hills, I'll kick 10 field goals. And so I wasn't really too worried about the outcome of the game, because, you know, you can put it in Andy's hands and he's going to get something done. But seriously, that's, you know, that's his kind of attitude. He'll do whatever he has to do to help his team win.
You know, and another thing that really hit me after the game was how much both the offense and defense picked each other up. You saw the defense actually, Black Hills needed to get 1 first down, and they could have run the clock out. Defense didn't allow them. Yeah. Offense drove down the field. Their offense scores in the first possession, but our offense picked up the defense. I mean, it was just a game in which, you know, and special teams, you know, it was just a fantastic win because everybody picked everybody up.
Well, and you know, that's what you want in a program. You want every aspect hitting on, you know, if you got a V8, you want all 8 cylinders working. And so that's kind of what is happening in the transition here. And, you know, it just comes right down to the fact that having the right people on the field at the right time, and you know, we're getting to the point where we can challenge anybody that we play, and that's what we want to be able to do.
Now, tell us what you saw on the pass from Hodges into the end zone. Tommy Lunsman intercepts the pass. Great play by Tommy.
Oh my gosh. Well, 2 things happened on that. Obviously, they were in pretty good position to score. And as I found out after the game, there were several people, when there was a minute left in the game, kind of left. And they kind of gave up on the old Rockers, you know. And so when we got into the overtime, and basically what I saw Kling putting some pressure on the quarterback, which is, you know, making him throw early. And I couldn't see the receiver. I just couldn't see him. And then when I watched the film, the reason was because Tommy had him blanketed, and the kid was tripping over his own feet trying to get to the other side. And Tommy just went up, and I've got that picture in my mind, with both hands and made the catch. And my statement was out loud, we won the game. We won.
Well, as the video shows, boy, the team just rushed across the field to embrace Tom Lunsman. Let me ask you a question, too, that was asked me. Should that play, which was blowing dead, once Tommy made the interception, right, the official in the end zone did blow the play dead, so no matter what happened, if some strange play, and you've seen him before in football, Tommy would have fumbled or something, but the play was dead. Should the official have blown that dead?
Well, we got in the rule book the very next morning, and the last rule that we found states that in overtime period, the ball is intercepted, it may be ran back for a 2-point touchdown. And so I believe the ball could have been a live ball until the whistle blew.
Until Tommy went down?
Or Tommy went down, right, or went out of bounds. And what happened, and it shows that the official blew the whistle and was signaling the ball's dead. And so I think Tom just wanted to run the spearfish anyway, you know. So, but that was the great thing about it. Just you know, it was a great finale, a great ending, because he got to run all the way down, and they were still chasing him, and he was, you know, I don't know who heard the whistle or who didn't hear the whistle, but the play was blown dead right then at the time when we had possession of the ball. So there's no question about that. But again, there is some questions on whether or not they should have allowed that to be dead until he touched a knee, ran out of bounds, or whatever. And because the result, like I said, that the rule that we found, the overtime rule, was that that ball can be advanced for a 2-point touchdown.
Dan, you've been in coaching so long, I'm sure you've seen finishes like this somewhere along your career, or had a couple.
Well, we have, but you know, again, this has to be one of the sweetest ones that I've been involved in, just because of the rivalry that's there, and our kids have really cherished that rivalry over the years. They really feel it when they first come in, and these freshmen now that have come in and seen this transpire have felt it. But you know, I've had a lot of comments after the game about how the peripheral things made this really feel like college football Saturday. You know, we have cheerleaders now. The drum corps that came out, I think, from Central.
From Rapid City Central.
Rapid City Central. You know, my hat's off to those guys and gals. You know, I wish they were at every game because it just adds that college dimension. And everybody enjoyed the ball game. Of course, we always have beautiful weather in Rapid City, so that was good. And
largest crowd in School of Mines history.
Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. I mean, almost 5,000 people.
Well,
so, well, how long are you letting the team enjoy this?
Well, you know what? They can enjoy this every day for the rest of their lives. And it's one of the things I want to make sure and re-emphasize. We're focused on getting ready for Minot. There's no doubt about that. But there is no doubt that I'm going to enjoy this every day. And I want these seniors to enjoy it every day for the rest of their lives. If they have a moment in their life where they're a little bit down, hey, just think back to this game against Black Hills, your last chance against the biggest rival in the country. And that should be a little spark to get them through a tough time. And so,
well, they're like me. I'll never forget it. I'll be laying in my casket and I'll still be thinking of that game. So that may sound a little morbid, but let's move on to better things here. Let's talk about Minot and how you played him just a couple of weeks ago, one on the road up there. What's it like turning around playing a team so quickly again? Well,
you know, I really don't like playing anybody twice. I mean, that's just me as a football coach. I guess the NFL does it, but it's a little bit different circumstances up at that level. Coming back and playing a team, you know, you've got those heavy and light factors. The heavy factor is that, well, hey, we beat them before, so we beat them again. You know, it's take for granted kind of thing. And, you know, the light factor is, well, they're out for revenge. You know, hey, well, they beat us last time, we should have won. So, you know, you've got to cope with those kind of things. But the good thing about it is it's kind of for all the marbles again. So, you know, we'll just pick up and get ready, and you know, it should be an easier preparation time because we have played them again. You know, we've been watching the film of them, our last game, and we watched their game, you know, their previous last 2 or 3 games, and see what they're doing differently and if they are. And so the preparation is a little bit easier, but the mental aspect of the preparation is a little bit more difficult.
As we head to the DAC Bowl, I know last week we talked a little bit, and it's still confusing some of the fans that these games count in the conference standings.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
It's confusing to me too, Tom. I'm not sure. You know, it didn't last year. Last year it counted towards playoffs and everything else, but it wasn't a conference game, I don't believe, last year. And if I recall, I think they voted to, hey, let's count it as a conference game because it might come down to a championship kind of thing and that type of thing. But with all the transitions going on in the DAC and so forth, I've kind of put that in the back of my mind and just, you know, hey, we're just going to line up and play football, and if we're good enough to win and make the playoffs, so be it. You know, if we don't win this week, we probably don't deserve to be in the playoffs. So let's just get this game, get prepped for it, get up there, and beat Minot a second time.
The game will begin at 3 p.m. Mountain Time from the Fargo Dome up in Fargo, North Dakota. Our coverage on the Hills 97.5 and on KKLS AM 920 begins at 2:40. Make it 2:40 Sunday afternoon. Again, the kickoff is at 3 o'clock from Fargo. Coach, congratulations. And there it is, the home stake trophy. For Dan Kratzer, this is Tom Rudebusch, and this has been Hardrocker Highlights.